Golf is a remarkably simple sport. You're hitting a ball with a stick into a hole. To take something simple and do well at golf, it does take a lot of skill and talent. Luckily enough for trading, there's not a whole lot of talent involved. This is just a skill that you learn, right? But if I were to spend the entire next year 100% dedicated to learning everything I possibly could before I go to the golf course, hurdle before the hurdle, right? I read all of the books, I watched all the videos, I followed the PGA Tour and all of that. By the time I show up to the golf course, I'm going to suck at playing golf. It doesn't matter. You've got to swing the club. You have to swing the club. And so the hurdle itself, what you're asking, I believe, is what the program is meant to be for. What Elite is here with us is to be able to make that hurdle as small as possible by giving you all of the resources and getting you plugged in as soon as possible, actually swinging the club. And the cool thing is you have someone like Tiger Woods, metaphorically speaking, to be able to watch your swing and help you through that process. And that's James, and that's Zach, and that's obviously more people that are coming up in the community who are doing really stinking well. And so you have all of that. The hurdle itself is just to get onto the golf course and start swinging. I promise. You are only going to find progress when you start swinging the club. It's not about learning the books. It's not about the education. It's about the implementation.
So what are the secrets? How do some of the most successful entrepreneurs find the freedom that we all got into business for in the first place? How did they find the time, energy, and resources to launch and scale strong? And how do entrepreneurs like us align our time, money, and energy in a way that will allow us to reach what we set out to achieve? These are the key questions, and this community will give you the answers. Welcome to the Prosperity Movement. So welcome to the Prosperity U podcast. Today we're going to talk about success in trading in 3 simple steps. And before we dive into it, we are going to open up our mission, vision, and value statements just so everybody knows what we're all about and what we stand for. So you can go to prosperitymovement.online and then look at the tab that says Meet Us, and then click on Mission, Vision, Values. And our mission is very simply to impact the world by bringing the life-giving principles of prosperity to the world. And our vision is to guide our community to back engineer their full power and potential with purpose-driven growth so they can do more of the things they love with the people they love most. And our values is it's broken down in 3 I's. You got your middle eye, then you got your 2 other, I mean the 3 I's: impact, integrity, and intentionality. So with impact, in order to impact the world, we value time, health, relationships, and legacy relentlessly at the highest level. Integrity, we value people over profits, and we are driven and dedicated to the success of our community. And intentionality, we provide result-oriented support through mentorship to ignite an inspired and focused community. And of course, those 4 pillars of prosperity are an impact, where we value time, health, relationships, and legacy. Time, most valuable asset. Health, if we're not healthy, we don't have as much time. Relationships, it is like on your deathbed, that's ultimately what you're going to be thinking about more than the money in the bank, but what you're leaving behind. Yes, with legacy, finances are a part of that, but the experiences that you've had with your relationships and the impact that you left on your deathbed, what you left behind. That's what's really important to us. So I'll let you take it away, Zach. You wanted to talk about the 3 steps to success in trading today.
Yeah. So this is 3 things. Actually, Travis kind of came up with these 3 things, but we use them a lot. We do talk about them frequently. So I'm just going to lay out the 3 steps and then we'll discuss them. So it's 3 simple words. Number 1, process. Number 2, engage. And number 3, support. Okay, so process, engage, and support. So obviously the first one is kind of the one that you would think is the no-brainer, but is probably one of the most challenging aspects of trading, and that is, very simply, follow the process, right? Follow the rules, follow the strategy, follow the charts. However you want to label the word process, it's the same basic concept. Go ahead, Travis.
How do you know I have something to say?
I can tell.
I'm itching for it, man. This is the exact same thing as going to the gym, having a decent exercise regime, and a decent nutrition plan, if you will, or a diet, right? Don't overeat and stay active. Like, it's a very simple process. There's not much more to it. Now, you can get super detailed. You can have like these very, very strategic ways and get super jacked. But let's face it, the average person's not trying to be a bodybuilder, right? Like, the idea is to go and just maintain health and be in some decent shape. And the process to do that is so wildly simple, yet why do so many people not do it, right? Or when they start, why don't they keep doing it? That's kind of what you're getting at right here. Okay. So if the process of being in a decent spot health-wise is eat healthy relatively and exercise well relatively, right? That's all it is. Now here in trading, it's pretty much the same thing. I want you to take it from here, but like, I just love equating it to something that's so it's within our reach mentally to think about it and physically to do it, to go to the gym or even to stay home and exercise. Right? But the whole point is it's within everyone's reach. Now, when it comes to trading, what does that mean?
Well, I would say, from my observation, there's two reasons people don't follow the process. One, they think they know better due to past experiences, right? They've been trading for 2 years, 5 years, and they're like, it can't be this simple, right? James's strategies are really broken down, really simple. Even our binary strategy, really broken down, really simple. And so it can't be this simple. I learned all these other things in the past, and that's interfering with their ability to follow the process. Or two, the other reason they don't follow is because they actually don't know what they're breaking, what rule they're not following, which is why we'll get to support and we'll get to the importance of that. But three, another one, James?
Yeah, it's a combination really of discipline and emotion. Some people get emotionally attached to the trade and they get emotionally attached to the markets and think it's doing it to me, it's picking on me. And I mentioned on the last how session, the clinic session, the emotional trading leads to an emotional wreck. But it is a third thing. It is a thing,
100%. I would agree with that for sure. Very good. So follow the process. Step one, follow the process. Step two is engage. So the idea here is that, the rising tide lifts all ships, right? It's you could go and do this kind of thing alone. That's a lonely journey. And quite frankly, when you're learning something new, going alone is just not the most effective way or the most time efficient way of mastering a skill set. If we take the gym as the example again, right? If you go and work out by yourself versus if you go with a friend, there's actually quite a big difference in your effort in the working out, right? Number one, you're going to
accountability.
Yeah, you're going to show up because you don't want to be outshined by your buddy. At least this is the way I would do it, right? I'd be like, I'm not gonna.
We've gone working out before, and I've kind of, I'm on the floor. We'll admit.
Well, it's psychological. It's not even our opinion. This is just fact. Yeah. When you profess what you're trying to do, right? You're saying, I'm going to start going to the gym. If you tell your friends and family, especially the social component here of wanting to maintain face, right? If you say it to your friends, I'm going to start working out. You don't want to not go for them to know that you failed, right? It's a psychological phenomenon. All you got to do is tell people, hey, I want to go to the gym. You don't even have to have the accountability partner per se. You should. It's always better. But just having it out there, you're more willing to follow through because you're unwilling to look bad. Yeah. It's all about status.
Yeah. And on top of that, you do a good job. It's good to have people tell you you're doing a great job. It just feels good. You get the little dopamine hit. What are the chances of you showing up the next day to the gym? Higher. You're like, hey, that felt great. I'm going to do that again. Right? Same with trading.
Unless it's leg day.
Unless it's leg day. But same with trading. You go on a trading session with James. James had 2 wonderful trading sessions today so far. We've got a third one coming up. You go into that session, follow instructions, follow the process, win with everyone else, James is calling out, my goodness, so and so hit this many pips, so and so hit this many pips. Guy, even on this call, hit 35 pips right at the beginning here. And so that now Guy being recognized is like, I want to do that again. I just got to follow the process. But that engagement helps to keep moving because you're not going to win every single trade, right? I mean, that's just not
Well, and it's
reason.
nice to have a spotter. It's nice to have a spotter. We were talking about the gym. Having a spotter actually allows you to go deeper. It allows you to go, a few more reps. You're tearing more of the muscle fibers to be able to get where you need to go and rip it, if you will. Right? So you've got a spotter. I mean, the other day, Guy was trying to learn about setting pending orders, and he just was having a challenge with it. He was recording it via Loom, and Dave Wimbush was there to spot him. Hey, man, let me check out your Loom video, and let me see if we can help you on that. Guy, I'd love to hear in the comments when you have a chance how that all came together for you and how that experience has been and how your experience with the pending orders has been. And if we haven't gotten there yet, by the way, we'll make sure that we get you moving and grooving. But we have, that support. And, as human beings, none of us are perfect. Even your coaches, even us, we're not perfect. That's why, like Jonah says, iron sharpens iron. That's actually Proverbs 27:17. Guy says he explained it well, learned Matt Schultz approach too. So Matt made a video the other day. We posted that in there as well. So absolutely outstanding. But yeah, going back to it, like none of us are perfect. Like even right now, we are revamping some of the phase 2 education. Obviously, we have tons of students that are getting incredible results on those calls. It is undeniable. And we have other students that are coming out of the woodwork right now and expressing that there's some areas that they want more clarity in. And so naturally, what are we doing? We are making it better together. Better together. That is a key phrase. You are better together. Like genuinely, you can go off and try to, tackle a desert all by yourself with a water bottle and maybe a few, crumbs of food, or you have a bunch of people that you're going into the wilderness together and tackling it together. Which one would you prefer? I don't know about you, but other than Jesus Christ who went out into the desert all alone for 40 days and 40 nights, I would prefer to be with a camping crew. I don't know about you. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
So that's 2. So process, number 2, engage. And then finally the third one, which I think can be difficult for some more than others, but it's getting the support you need, right? So I know a lot of people struggle with saying, I need some help, right? Especially they see other people getting it and they're not getting it. And they're like, it's almost like an inherent like embarrassment feeling, when they're like, I'm not getting this, there's no reason for that. I mean, if you reach out for support, you better believe we're going to turn things around and do what we can to help you and everything we can in our power with the time that we have available. Like,
I think for some people, it's also it's an emotional thing to not want to get the support for various reasons. Like you said, it could be embarrassment. Some people are just like, what I hate the most is when someone says, "Hey, sorry to bother you, but can you XYZ?" Right? Or I don't want to waste your time, but and then insert request. It's like you're in it. You're in the trenches together. Let's go. Like if you're listening to this right now and you all feel that you want to reach out, but there's some negative emotion withholding you from doing that, please reach out. We're here for you. I always tell people the only stupid questions that could possibly be asked are the ones that you ask after you do a boneheaded move by yourself, right? It's like the questions on the bus ride home. They should have been asked in the classroom, right? So many different ways of saying this. Please, we're here to do it with you. So let's go. Let's rock.
Mm-hmm. Hong Wang says, do you have some training videos for some? As you said, it is very simple. For others, it sounds daunting with the learning curve. Yes. There's a two-pronged thing here I'd like to do. Actually, I think it'd be really cool if we even pulled up some of that on screen, however we feel about that, but showing a little bit of some of the stuff that we have going on in terms of the education, and maybe even talk about some of the approaches that we're taking in phase 2 here. this year. I know we talked about it a little bit on the launch this year, but if we can talk about that a little bit more. But to address this, simple is an important word, Hong, because you nailed it. Simple and easy are two different things. And if we're going to talk about the gym, it's simple for me to track my macros. It's simple for me to get up and go to the gym every day. Those are simple things. Those are simple thoughts. It's just not always easy because sometimes you don't feel like it and you got to get up and groove and move, right? You got to get up and do it. And so the answer to your question, do we have that education? The answer is absolutely we do. And I don't know, Zach, did you want to kind of open up some of the training and what's sitting there, or go ahead, Travis?
We also have each Monday evening a live how-to clinic. I share the recording on YouTube, but I often stop the recording so that the members can then ask detailed questions about the live charts or indicators or the charts and that kind of stuff. I'm not going to share publicly, but that's a resource and it's weekly, so that's live. But definitely there are plenty of videos too. I'll let you show them. Sorry for interrupting.
Cool.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. The how session, the tech sessions that we have, the getting started sessions. Like there's every single week, there's plenty of places to plug into to be able to get the education and the support at the same time, right?
So yeah. I'll show it, but mine looks a little bit different than what members see because I see all the ones that are not published as well.
Right. Yeah, that's fine.
So, but I'd be happy.
That's fine because there's new stuff coming out at some point and things that we're working on for future and all that kind of stuff. So just keep that in mind. So you're getting a sneak peek of all the goodies.
All the goodies. So
yeah, of all the goodies.
I'll share my
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So this is what the hub looks like. So it actually let it load there. There we go. So it actually starts out even before we get into strategies. We do have a course called Binary Trading Exposed that helps to understand the binary industry a little bit. TradeEd Blueprint. This is huge on like the way to. It's a perspective thing. It's a mindset type of course, and it kind of gives you an overview of our systems. We do recommend kind of making a separate Google account just for your trading stuff. It just makes things easier when it comes to bookmarks and things like that. And then we get into the binary strategy called Job Killer. And so this is the Job Killer strategy. This is not published anymore. This is an older one. But we have replays. We have weekly calls. There's like 4 or 5 weekly binary calls that the group gets together for. Here's some events from 2023. And then we get into James's strategy with our phase 2 stuff with Pod Origins, and then our Pod Workshop, and then down here, Pod Disciple. Those are kind of the 3 courses with regard to strategies. Yeah. And then it keeps going, and a little sneak peek. Okay, that's all you get. So there's more.
Jonah there is looking for the T2B2. Where will you find that in the hub?
Jonah, you'll want to probably reach out to Dave Wimbush on that.
I think it's in resources, isn't it? Or guides?
Probably in guides, yeah.
Guides. So if you
battle and message me and I'll give you the copy. I never leave
guides. I am just looking in here in guides right now. I think it needs to be, it's in guides under MetaTrader indicators and templates under all resources. And you can see T2B2 for MT4, MT5, and then setup instructions are all sitting underneath MetaTrader indicators and templates. Yeah. So that's where I would be going to go look for that. You can see it clearly at the bottom. So that's the new additions. So you got it. And one of the things that we've noticed a lot this year that is coming up quite a bit is U.S. People from the U.S. Dealing with brokers. Now we have to be very, very, very cautious on how we approach that because we, by law, cannot suggest a broker. We can share what we use and why, but we can't tell you should use this or you should use that. So one of the things that we are starting to update, because we do have in all resources, there is a document for finding a U.S. broker. So the whole point of that, Guy Beal actually put that together. The whole point of that was to help you do your due diligence in picking your broker. Now, one of the things that we plan on putting together here pretty soon is a little walkthrough video of a few different, potentially a few. Do we have like off the top of our minds? Like I know Liquid Effects is one that a lot of people in our community use. Is there any other ones that kind of come to the top of mind?
IG is another one. And then,
IG.
yeah,
We'll
IG.
start using Hugo's Way.
Hugo's Way is going out of business, so we've moved away from them.
Yeah.
And then there's one more, something that I can think of that people have used.
Not
It's like
Owanda.
Owanda. Yeah.
Owanda.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a few brokers that we're going to put together a little video of a walkthrough of how to set things up so that people aren't getting so hung up. That seems to be a hang up right now in the education is people getting a little bit of a hang up over there. So that's one of the updates that we're going to be doing so that people can jump on with James and make it super simple. James is in Ireland, so he's got a bunch of different options for brokers. And of course, us Canadians, we have I use Fusion Markets. I love Fusion Markets. There's also trying to think of there were a couple of other ones. I can't think of them off the top of my mind, but there's another one that that is very comparable to Fusion Markets over here as well. That I had Jonathan Pellerin, I think, shared that with me. Yeah, it's just I'll have to go back and look at it. But anyways, yeah, everybody in your different regions we all got different options. Unfortunately, not everybody has the same options, so we got to kind of address that. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and so that kind of answers like the video side, but our support goes so much deeper than the videos. I feel like watching our videos, it's like step one, right? Because we have group calls for all trading styles. So for binary, actually, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 calls a week. And for phase 2, there's the house session on Monday, and then there's 7 live trading sessions throughout the week as well. So, and then there's 5 potentially special ones to get into once you are at a certain level, little advanced sessions in the morning. Yeah. So there's so much opportunity.
You got to illustrate your eliteness to get in there.
Yeah. Yeah. So binary options, Hong is one of ours. And then we also do like Forex, but we trade like a Forex style, but primarily with like indices, like, NAS 100 or US 100, same thing. The Dow, the DAX, those kinds of things. And so, yeah, we've got a couple of different options there. Depending on someone's availability is primarily what dictates which way to go. So if somebody has time, absolutely dive into the indices and stuff like that. If you have very, very little time, generally speaking, we send you over to binary options trading to start.
So Hong is saying, how about the mainstream ones like IBRK or Fidelity?
I mean, you can choose whichever broker. Yeah, you can choose whatever broker you need. There's some things to look at, and that's why we have the document of how to choose a U.S. broker. So if they have the things that are on that list, it'd probably be okay. I haven't really seen a broker that doesn't have those things. Like I think we had one person that was struggling, but I hopped on with her and we actually did find the missing pieces together. So some brokers are really weird. US, it's really weird. They label things differently than everywhere else. So what's NAS 100 in every other country is US 100 for us. What's JUR 30 or JUR 40 in every other country is DE 30 or DE 40 for us. So weird little different labels and stuff like that. And we're working on having like a little key chart for that. But either way, in addition to the group calls that I just talked about, we also do one-on-one calls. We have one-on-one calls where students will step in and they'll be like, hey, look, I know how to do that. I'll help you out real quick. And then you have access to all of our calendars, all 4 of us, and then plus Janelle, one of our coaches, plus Matt and David also helping out in the community. Like so much support, for if you do happen to get stuck. Perfect. Yeah. So Daniel says he's been using Robinhood for binary and crypto side of trading. That's cool. I didn't even know you could do binary on Robinhood. That's pretty
Really?
cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know. So anyway, great questions, guys. But yeah, ultimately, if you follow the process, engage with our group calls and our community, right? Just be a part of the movement here, and reach out for support, whatever form that looks like, whether that's a one-on-one thing, whether it's a group thing, whatever that looks like. There's absolutely no reason for you to not get the results you're looking for in trading.
Very good.
Yeah.
So, did you really cover all those 3 points in 26 minutes like you were riding a bull?
Yeah, I'm a boss. I'm just kidding. I was actually debating between this particular topic and another one, which James might really like this next one. If we have a little bit of time, it shouldn't be too long. I have a funny little mini story to go along with it. But the impact that your own belief system has on your trading. Recently, we've had quite a turnaround from a few people when it comes to belief system, and when it falters, the trading falters, and then when it comes back, the trading comes back. And it's actually a data. I look at it like a data point. And this came up actually today. One of our members who's actually on the podcast here live with us, like, he was telling me he's doing so good. And his trading is phenomenal in all areas and stuff. And I'm like, well, what do you think changed? Because he had approached me in Florida that he was kind of struggling. I'm like, what do you think changed all of that? And from the background, I could hear his wife say, his belief, right? So it was like, okay, right. So it really does make a difference. And even James this morning on his call, I heard him say, I'm staying out of this trade. It's called discipline. I know my strategy. I trust it and I believe in it. And so belief has a lot to do. See, the thing is, if you don't believe in it, how certain are you when you see the signal, right? You're like, and then you hesitate, and then you have a late entry, and then that causes maybe less of a win, which affects the belief even worse, right? And then it's like this kind of negative spiral. So that's the other thing I
feel like this is actually a good correlation with what Hong is saying in the comments here. He says, I'm not sure if this is the best place to share this thought, but can be off topic for this discussion. What you offer is very interesting. However, given the hurdle of knowledge, skill, psychology related to trading, hope you can make the hurdle lower with solid training and trial period to build up confidence before onboarding. Go ahead, James.
I would like to say for Hong there, that notwithstanding that, I would like to say, assuming of course you speak that anyway, what I would like to say is, in our live sessions, so long as you know the title and the setting of each of my indicators, and you will know that ideally because you will have watched the video or read the document, when you come on to those, you will hear me very clearly, hopefully clearly, telling you what I want to do and why. And Zach mentioned it this morning. I only wanted to go a particular direction. 46 minutes we waited for that. 46 minutes, but I waited and I waited. Very irritated, but I got it. Did we not get it? We got it. And that's a thing, discipline matters. So we were on for an hour. And okay, yeah, it only delivered in the end between 15 and 20 pips. But they were measured and managed, carefully chosen pips that we knew we were going to get. It wasn't I'm going to sell it on the SH1T, it's going down method. There's nothing random about what we do. It's completely, totally focused and disciplined. And once you know, all you got to do is see the picture and know, well, what's that line? Okay, and what's that line? And that line, what does that tell me? And we go through it. I know I went through it in the video, so I explain what each and every line is and what it tells us, and then how it builds together into what I believe is a rock solid strategy that just delivers. That's it. So long as you're disciplined and be patient with me. But I was really patient this morning. And that's the way.
Yeah.
So I wasn't
no
able
drawdown,
to.
says Shane.
I I wasn't able to jump on a few of the calls this week because of the bunch of stuff that has been going on in my neck of the woods over here. But I am typically on those calls, and I usually at the end of the session pull out some of the results. So with your guys' permission, I'll take some of the recordings from last week and just short clips here of some of James's sessions. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So this one.
And I know there were cells this morning, Jonah.
So
that
19. 19's okay. 17's good. 15's good. Everyone's in double figures anyway. I'm happy with that. We should be a little bit better, but we're okay. That's all right. We're in good hands. Everybody's over 10. And just remember, 10 pips a sodding hour will make you sensibly wealthy. That's the reality. So everyone that's over 10 pips, you have smashed it. Well done.
And here is one Janelle's screen from one of the sessions I couldn't be on. And so important to understand too, like in that session, that first one that we shared, I believe, James, you had said there was a 65 pip, like it produced 65 pip in that session. That wasn't just on one play. There were like 3 or 4 plays that everybody was taking. So you're seeing people say that they got 15. You're seeing people say that they got 30. Janelle 96 within her first 3 days. I think I just saw on the post in the Facebook, she's still cleaning house this week. I can't remember how many pips she already got. She had, I think, 4 out of 5 trades. She had 1 lesson and something like 30 pips or something like that from that. I can't remember the exact number, but completely cleaning house. And so that's guided, right? So to dive a little deeper there, Hong, if you'd like, we'd love to give you a gift at the end of this podcast. If you stick around, we'll share with you how you'll be able to get that gift with this, which is the Trading Blueprint, for you to do your due diligence. That's what the Trading Blueprint is all about. And I'll break down the 2 reasons for the blueprint and all that stuff at the end of this. So stick around for that. We'll get you that information. James, would I be wrong?
I have a note on that as far as like how to get past this hurdle, right? And what can I do now to make the hurdle not so big, right? I think a really, really stellar way of making this make sense is golf, right? And I'm not even a golfer. I don't know why I talk about it so much, but golf is a remarkably simple sport. You're hitting a ball with a stick into a hole. Like, it doesn't get that any simpler than that.
Not just any stick, a crooked stick.
A crooked one. Yeah.
A crooked one.
So, but to take something simple and do well at golf, though, right? Like it does take a lot of skill and talent. Luckily enough for trading, there's not a whole lot of talent involved. This is just a skill that you learn, right? But if I were to spend the entire next year 100% dedicated to learning everything I possibly could before I go to the golf course, right? The hurdle before the hurdle, right? I read all of the books. I watched all the videos. I followed the PGA Tour and all of that. By the time I show up to the golf course, I'm going to suck at playing golf. It doesn't matter. You've got to swing the club. You have to swing the club. And so the hurdle itself, what you're asking, I believe, is what the program is meant to be for. What Elite is here with us is to be able to make that hurdle as small as possible by giving you all of the resources and getting you plugged in as soon as possible, actually swinging the club. And the cool thing is you have someone like Tiger Woods, metaphorically speaking, to be able to watch your swing and help you through that process. And that's James, and that's Zach, and that's obviously more people that are coming up in the community who are doing really stinking well. And so you have all of that. The hurdle itself is just to get onto the golf course and start swinging. I promise. You are only going to find progress when you start swinging the club. It's not about learning the books. It's not about the education. It's about the implementation. So 100%. That's what we have here.
Brian, why don't you do the call to action now and at the end so that Hong knows how to get
Hong says that he's got stuff going on. So Hong, if you go to prosperitymovement.online, prosperitymovement.online, we'll put a link in this text right here. And if what you do, I'll actually illustrate this too. Give me a moment. I'm gonna. Oh, James
That's
has got
awesome.
some magic trick.
I just
James
wanted
has
to
got a
tell you,
magic trick for
I
us.
trade like I play golf. I cheat.
He shoots it.
Yep, yep. And there ain't no golf club in the world going to go as far as my bow.
So,
Have you actually shot
uh,
that? What kind of distance do you get on that?
Oh, often, yeah. I can do 500 meters with that.
That's awesome.
I am firing
so if we
it from a 60-pound compound bow, like.
Yeah.
So for Hong, because I know it seems like you got a lot going on right now. If you're with me here, Hong, can you see what's on screen here, Hong? Basically, all you got to do is you got to go to this little chat bubble here and put your name, your email, your message, and the message. What do we want to make the message?
Blueprint.
Blueprint. Just put in blueprint and your email, your phone number, and your name, and I will connect with you from there. Yeah, you can see it. Awesome. I'm glad you can see it. So just go to prosperitymovement.online there, put your name, your phone number, your email, put in blueprint. I will address that and I'll actually reach out to you and see if we can get you moving and grooving. And Hong, where are you located? Are you in Canada? You in the States? Where are you at? And also, James, oh, you're in New York City. Awesome. James, when you were speaking, what was that language that you were speaking?
That was Mandarin.
Mandarin? Okay, I
I
was
didn't
just
know you
double
knew
checking. So,
Mandarin.
yeah. Do you know it fluently? Because I was like,
No, not
everything
that
you
good.
said after it, is that what you were saying, or like?
There you
Oh,
go.
wait,
Hung understood anyway.
you could understand, James. What did you say? He seems to be in a good mood. I'm assuming you didn't say anything mean.
No, of course not. No, I just said that I speak Mandarin and not very well, but I speak it.
It's so
Okay,
cool.
oh, got you. That's like when I say "Je peux parler le français, mais pas trop." That's about it. That means I can speak French, but not
I can
much.
do a bit better. I can ask for things. I can ask for directions. I can ask for food and
There
drinks
you
and
go.
stuff like that.
Cool. Yeah.
Pretty sick.
Very
That's
nice.
pretty sick.
Cool. I can teach you Mandarin and teach you if you treat
Sounds
swapping
fair. Bring
Mandarin
it
for
to the
trading.
table.
Yeah. Too good. Awesome.
So yeah, so the whole point of this whole thing was like your belief system, but I think it also what Travis was saying with like golf, I mean that's applicable to anything, right? I mean if you think of like something silly like the musical The Music Man, right? He like conned everyone by saying you can just think how to play and then you'll learn how to play a musical instrument. You just think about it all the time and then eventually you're just going to be so good without touching the thing. Like that's not how it works, right? And so we don't do that. You have to be in the charts. You have to like be doing it with us in order to learn. You can't look at a guitar and know how to play it. You got to pick it up, strum it, right? All that stuff.
I would disagree. I think everybody knows how to play guitar. Everybody knows. You hold it, you hold a string down, maybe some more than one
That's true.
string, and you strum it or pluck it. You make noise, and then you do that over and over and over again, and it's music, right? Like everyone knows how to play it. Or in other words, we say everyone knows what to do in order to play the guitar.
Yeah.
But how to do it is where you have to learn and actually pick it up and start practicing, right? And it's by action alone that any of that will manifest. And this is, like you said, same thing, pretty much applicable anywhere. And the cool thing about this is that just like anything else, you're probably not going to be very good at it at first. And then you're going to get better, and you're going to get better than that, and you're going to get really good.
And that's why there's demo accounts.
Yep.
You can start out without risking any real money, get the habit going. We in both ways that we trade, we have requirements, little checklists of things that need to be happening with your fake money before we suggest you fund a live account. So that way you're not going into it too soon without having the right amount of skill set. So we have those kinds of guards in place, and that's all part of the Engage. Our community has helped us to develop that, and so that's why it's absolutely amazing. All right,
Yeah.
Jonah, good luck, my man.
Is in the area. And that goes like for those that have experience too, because we have a lot of people who come over here with experience and bad habits that have to go through the proper process. And that's basically what we've been able to see with guys like Matt, like he had said on our last podcast session. And I was just having a conversation with somebody today about him as well, that this time last year he was ready to quit. He was not happy with a lot of what was going on in his journey, and we had to support him and work with him through that. And now he's at the point where he's educating, he's teaching people. It's incredible to witness what he's been able to do and what he's guiding people to on a morning call. Like, he's calling out incredible plays, just like James calls out incredible plays. It's just been so fun to witness. So, it's a thing. Simple versus easy, right? What's that?
It proves the point that it's a learned skill and anybody can learn it.
Yeah.
I think the problem with getting started for a lot of people is an expectation that's not reasonable, right? I want to get rich in 2 weeks. Why don't you give yourself 2 months, at least? Yeah. Get started. Give yourself some more time. The thing that I hear that resonates with me the most is that we as people, we overestimate what we can do in 1 year, but we really underestimate what we can do in 2, 3, 5 years. Give us enough time and repetitions. It really, really comes into play. And so Matt is a prime example of that, right? So maybe it didn't happen exactly in the time that he wanted, but he persevered, kept going, and now it's really paying off. So
it is
so
one.
Good.
Joyce asks, do you think it's sometimes easier to train someone who has no experience at all? 100%. 100% easier. That's just my own experience with that. But yeah. So it's harder to unlearn bad habits than it is to create new good ones. And so somebody that's coming in with a clean slate, we can teach you how to do it the right way the first time. You're saving a lot of heartache with that.
So good. Very good.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
True. People come through and they have a lot of other things that aren't beneficial that we have to unlearn them, right? It's hard to let go of those. And so it's not impossible, but I would say there's the learning curve for someone who's brand new is probably a little bit less typically, right? Just because there's less moving parts. So yeah, it's definitely good. And if you're listening and you do have some experience, it doesn't mean it's this huge hurdle to get over. It's just basically the same thing. We just have to make sure we're on the right path. The world of trading is very large, but the path to consistent profits is narrow, and you just got to walk down that one. And we'll point you towards that. We'll hold your hand. We'll walk with you.
Yeah.
Daniel says that my experience is I'm fighting bad habits and wrong tendencies. First thing to do is to identify problems and then identify the solutions. So if you can identify some of those problems, and of course, your coach is helping you through that as well, then let's go.
Yeah. Beautiful. Sweet. So guys, just again, go to that website, prosperitymovement.online, bottom right corner, go ahead and click on the little icon down there so that you can get the blueprint, fill in your information, put the message blueprint. We'll send it over to you as a gift. So that way you can do your due diligence, find out what we're all about, find out a little bit more about all four of us. All four of us are in there with videos.
Totally. And that is the point of the blueprint. 2 main reasons, and I promise I would express that. Number one, it's to help you do your due diligence, like Zach said, and then number two is to help you, to help prepare you for your success. And we've seen an increased success rate for those that have gone through that. So it's kind of like the same. We were talking about the gym and everything earlier. I will never forget my weight loss journey. It was over 300 pounds at one point in time. I lost over 100 pounds in 6 months. And how I did it was as simple as reading a book called Body for Life by Bill Phillips. That book completely changed my life. And it was interesting because at the end of the book, it literally had the workout plan and the meal plan and all that kind of stuff. And he explained at the beginning of the book that was not going to be enough. And I look at that as the strategy is not going to be enough. You can go on YouTube and find indicators and strategies. That's just not going to be enough. I needed to get into a special place in my heart and mind and understand some of the biggest challenges that I was going to be faced with, understand the areas that I was going to have to break through, some of the things that I was going to experience on that journey that I needed to understand before I got into it so that I could identify it and break through it. And that's what it allowed me to do. After reading that book, I was fully prepared to then go take action properly. And that's what this blueprint does for you. So again, you can go to prosperitymovement.online, go to the bottom right corner, put in your information, and then just send blueprint, and we'll get that over to you and we'll get the conversation going. And of course, we want to wish you all the best in health, wealth, and relationships.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.
All
See
right.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.